Hello everybody, welcome back to Bag Only. This is of course my inventory only Ultimate Iron Man here on Oldschool Runescape with a couple of extra limitations. We're not using any kind of storage containers, we're not death piling, we're not putting things in our costume room in our house, making stash units using a rune pouch, a looting bag, any kind of coffers. If you tuned into the last episode, you'll know that we both completed 99 Slayer and also completed Zulrah, so now we're in absolutely beastly gear, Serp Helm, Trident of the Swamp and Blowpipe. In this episode we'll be heading over towards the Phantom Musper boss finally to earn our dust, so we can upgrade our imbued heart into the saturated heart as well, giving us further mage damage as we progress into things like raids and stuff. But first of all, I'm going to need some supplies to fight the Musper, so I'm here at the Motherlode mine. We'll be using the golden nuggets here to make ourselves some sapphire bolts E, and then we can use those on the Musper when you need to drain his prayer in that one weird kind of smite phase he does. In the inventory we still have noted manta rays that we looted from Zulrah, as well as tons of super restores and ranging potions, so supply wise we're pretty good. One thing we could do is go do Desert Treasure 2 to unlock Duke Socalis as a boss, so we can get the teleport ring over to the Musper, but seeing as we're only going for 150k dust for the heart, we're not going for anything else from the boss. It should only be about 1 to 200 kills. We already have the Weiss portal in our POH. I don't think it's worth all the extra time to go now, do that quest, farm Duke Socalis, which we'd need to go get melee gear for. It's probably a net loss in time. So with some sapphires from the Motherlode mine, I bought a couple of extra ones from some gem stalls around the game, like the one in Ardy, and I made the mithril bolts by simply buying the myth ore and coal from the shop at the blast furnace, hopping to the official blast furnace world for like a single tick so they'd get smelted into bars, then hopping straight back to save money, and just making bolts here on the anvils right next to the blast furnace, then talking to the guy again, buying some more ore and repeating. It's super easy. With our sapphire bolts I also made some amethyst broads just to use as our main ammunition for when we're not in the smite phase. I think diamond bolts here are a little bit better, but they take a long time to make, so just to start out to kind of figure out the kills, get a feel of the boss, I just decided to make the quickest ammunition we could, and then we headed over to give it a go. So basically today we're just hoping that our bolts are actually going to hit, even though they're not diamond bolts, because of course diamond bolts have that special effect where they can ignore the enemy's defense and potentially hit rather high. Like I say, I'm expecting to need to kill this guy maybe, I don't know, 100-200 times. I've also forgotten to do the tile marker here, so let's just eat up in between phases, see if we can land a freeze, and then we'll farcast him like this. This is going to be a boss where we actually do have to go through some supplies though, because obviously at Zulrah we were doing one-kill trips where we didn't even need to drink prayer or anything, but I'm fairly sure the Musper kills will last long enough where we're actually going to have to go through supplies, but that is fine because we do have 500 full super restore 4s that we do need to use up, because once we're done at this boss of course we'll be going to construction, and for construction I can't have any supplies in my inventory because it's all going to be space that we're going to need for planks. So as soon as we're done at this boss and upgraded this heart, we are going to ditch all our PVM supplies, including our stack of potions and food that we have on us, and we're going to be getting into some construction with that invent space, so that should be interesting. Right, where can we stand? Not there, ideally. What happened? Oh, my run was off. Did I run out of run? I guess I did. Oh good, it just puts everything here on the floor. It's always really annoying to re-gear because your stuff doesn't go back in the inventory quite exactly the way you had it, which is always annoying, but you know, it doesn't really matter. At least we don't have to pay a death cost for this boss, which is nice. If we had died at something like Vorkath, then we'd be paying 100k right now. All we've really lost is, like I say, a couple of sips of like the potions we had on us and things, but I do need to unnote some more potions and re-gear and rebuff, so we'll be back and we'll give this another attempt. Hey guys, there we go, our first Zulrah, sorry, I'm so used to saying Zulrah. That's our first Musper kill, guys, a 6-minute 33. Not ideal, we get ourselves 400 death runes, worth quite a lot of money. We also get some molten glass noted, which I guess I have to go blow. I'll go do a little bit of crafting, make some light orbs, drop them and re-gear and come straight back. So Musper's definitely doable on this account. The only issue here is, of course, our gear isn't perfect. We're using a rune crossbow, relatively mediocre armor and stuff. So with both styles we're using, we have under 60% accuracy at this boss, which means some of the kills take, 5 or 6 minutes each. It did take me a little bit of a while with all the different mechanics you have to learn here to really nail the boss. I did die a couple of times. I would say probably 2 of the deaths, though, were most certainly my Wi-Fi. Just going to get my excuses in early, of course, but for some reason my internet was being absolutely terrible this particular week. For example, check out this awesome one, where I very clearly swapped to the Mage Prey in time. That happened 1 or 2 times, which is really frustrating. But of course, that's just life. But yeah, it did take a couple of kills to really nail the boss, but after about probably 10, I'd say we were in the groove, but after about the 3rd kill I stopped bringing freezes, because I realised that if you just keep running away from the mage guy, you don't need to freeze him at all. So we don't need to spend money on blood runes, we don't need to waste time not attacking with the trident and instead trying to land freezes. The only issue with this is you do run out of run after a single kill, and to be honest, I couldn't be bothered to learn the step back method because I knew there's no way we'd be here for any more than, like, at worst 200 kills. Because the essence we get every single kill is guaranteed, we would hit our goal of 150,000 to upgrade this heart relatively quickly. The bow and the ancient staff thing, really not very good for this account, so yeah. Hey everybody, so I found this strange minigame here called Tears of Gothics or something, really strange, but if you actually drink from the tears in here, you get yourself some free Herblore XP. Couldn't keep that up, there we go, there's this week's tears, another 13k in Herblore. I'm going to get this 83 Herblore in a couple of weeks, most likely, of course getting 10% more for completing Lumbridge Hard. We've of course done Lumbridge Elite, so that's good. Anyway, with our weekly Herblore detour out the way, I headed straight back to the Musper. At this point I decided to stop wearing the Serpentine Helm to this boss. As you know, of course, the Serp Helm has negatives in both range and mage, which are both the styles we're using, and the scales we do currently have left over I'd like to use in our Trident, because of course that now consumes scales instead of coins. And after about 1 or 2 kills back, I decided to just equip like a basic Mystic hat that I bought from the Yanil shop. Gives us a nice extra +4 mage bonus and no negatives to range. There we go guys, collection log, frozen cash. That's an uncommon drop here from the Musper. It's a really weird idea that they added to this boss. Instead of getting loot, you get a chest, and when you open the chest you just get some Musper loot. But let's see what we get from the chest of Musper loot today. 3 rune plate legs, that's like 120k coins, that's really good. Obviously our cash stack has gone down a little bit since we made the 20 mil, so we'll go sell those in Berthorpe. Dude, that was a clean one, look at this, 4 food left. There's kill number 9, UPB, 455, 2,000 Ancient Essence, which must be one of the highest rolls available. 3 Rune Kites, that's like 100k in Elk money, and 4 Torstal Seeds. Really good kill, that one, happy with that. There we go guys, another kill. Finally coming in at the Musper, we get ourselves an elite clue. Oh no, it's rare drop table steel arrows. No, it's starting again. We'll go see if we can do this elite, probably not. There's 10kc though, we should get a combat achievement as well at 25, so let's just keep trucking along. So we got a couple of different drops from the Musper here. We got ourselves some magic seeds, some dragon skirts, lore runes, torstal seeds, water orbs to do crafting with, noted glass, silver ore, all those kind of things. After 16kc, however, we were once again out of bolts. We only made 300 to start with. I thought we'd actually go all in and make the proper diamond boltsy, even though it is a lot of work. So we did one of our standard detours over to the God Wars dungeon, used our hilt telly, killed some aviancies with the hard Fremy diary done for those noted addy bars, and then we went and got ourselves some tockle and we sold that for some diamonds. Then of course we made diamond boltsy with some runes as well. It's a really long process. It took hours to make a batch of these diamond boltsy, but I figure it is worth it for that special effect, hitting here at this boss with quite high defense. Ooh, tasty kill there guys. There's another Musper, number 18. I did just remember I've forgotten to swap my God book back. I was using this one for aviancy protection earlier, but there's 666 cannonballs, which would be really nice if we had a bank, but no way that we're going to be able to keep those. But a dragon plate skirt, 120k alk, and of course 900 of the essence that we're here for. We're now at 12k of our 150k, and it's only really the first day of doing Musper, so I don't intend this grind to take too long, especially if, like I say, we see a Venator shard piece that adds 50k to this stack. Easy kill, guys. That felt quite quick. Not sure if it was. Let's have a look. A 349, and we also did a master combat task. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, kill the Musper without taking any avoidable damage, and that's a master, so that's a nice 5 combat points, which is good. We also get some water orbs again, and some dragon bolts. Now, the dragon bolts would be a really good drop. We do actually have the fletching level to fletch these, because we're like, what, 92 fletching now, which is crazy. The only issue is we don't actually have a weapon that fires dragon bolts. But yeah, that was a nuclear kill. I think our previous best was like 430 before this one. There's a combat task for a speedrun which is 3 minutes or below. Unlikely, considering we're not going to be here for that many kills, but it could happen. And here we go guys, 25 Musper kills. There's Phantom Musper Veteran, the first KC achievement if you don't count the one for getting 1 kill. There's another one coming up at 50 kills, which will be even more combat points. It's good because we only just hit the hard combat achievements a couple of episodes back, so now we're getting a couple of points as a buffer before they add some new ones and the threshold to hit hard just goes up a bit. We also get ourselves a double roll of molten glass, so that's like 10k crafting XP right there, and also an elite clue that maybe we can go do. Another one, gamers. There we go, a spirit seed. Didn't know you could get that drop here, and 600 Ancient Essence. So we've now killed 30 Musper, and our stack is at 21k of the 150k we need. So at absolute worst, if we see no uniques and get quite bad luck with dust drops, there's no way it'll take us over 250 kills here, and we've already done 30, and it's only been like a day, so this shouldn't be a very long grind. And here we are 6 kills later, getting an elite clue from the Musper that we were actually able to complete, and when we open this, we got ourselves the Fremenic kill. That's actually kind of insane. The Fremi kill actually has some strength bonus. It's 1. Of course, we can just go buy Obby legs for Tockle at any point. We never need these, but wow, we actually got a unique from an elite clear. That's our second one in the 10 elites we've ever done. Hey guys, here we are just doing a little bit of herb lore. Got some nice herb and seed drops from the Musper yesterday, so I've had to go, you know, plant some snapdragons, dig up some snapdragons. I got a drop of 55 toadflax noted from the Musper, which is insane. And since it's really, really hard to get crushed nests, I just made 55 agility pots over at the Grand Tree. Of course, the new goal now for herb lore is 85, so we can plus 5 and make a single super combat potion for the Varrock Elite Diary. The other step we need for that one is 90 cooking, which we're also very, very close to and will be easy to train. So if we can get those 2 levels, we'll have an awesome diary, because the Varrock Elite is actually pretty good. And of course our supplies just keep going up as well, even though, like I say, as soon as we're done with this 150k dust from this boss, we'll be ditching all our supplies to go do construction. So not really looking forward to doing the construction grind, I should probably mention, because we need to get 10 mil XP from where we are now to get 99 construction, and at max efficiency it's like 70k an hour, something like that. Right guys, there we go. That's Musper number 50, giving us Phantom Musper Master, an actual Master tier achievement for killing 50 of this boss. Then you also get an achievement for killing 1, and another one for killing like 25. So you get something like 11 or 12 points just for coming here and getting 50 KC. Highly recommend it if you're chasing those combat achievement tiers. Not that we are currently, but it is giving us a nice buffer, like I say, for the next time they add combat tasks. Maybe we won't dip down below the hard level. Maybe we will, who knows. But yeah, that's now half the drop rate for 1 Venator Shard, and that is the drop rate for one of the ancient icons, both of which of course we can break down into some of the dust, which should shorten our grind once we see a couple of those, because of course we only need 150k of it. Guys, quick shout out once again to the Ring of Suffering here. Of course we made this specifically to fight Zulrah because it's pretty much essential for killing snakelings, but since this Musper does chip damage on like every single attack, even if you pray against it, he hits you like 1 to 5. It means that pretty much every time he attacks us we recoil like 1 damage, and since these fights are taking like 3 to 5 minutes, he does land quite a lot of attacks that do get recoiled. I'm not really sure what's happening with the charges in our recoil ring, but yeah, I figure that it's probably adding up to a decent amount of damage over the course of the fight, maybe like 50 damage or something each kill. If you consider the fact he has 850 health, you know, it's not an inconsiderable amount of DPS. But yeah, I don't know, maybe one day we'll swap the Ring of Suffering for something else, but right now for this boss, and of course, considering the fact that we'll probably also be nipping back to Zulrah every now and again for more scales for our gear to recharge it, I figure it's worth still keeping the Suffering on for now. The Suffering is actually helping us out quite a lot here, so happy to have it. Hey everybody, can you imagine? It's a clip about the Tears of Gothics. It's not something we've ever done before on the account, but I figured it'd be very, very interesting. So there you go, a 14,000 herb lore XP drop there, putting us only at 28k away from level 83, so maybe in 2 more weeks or so we'll end up with another herb lore level, then we'll have 2 left, and we can go for that Varrock Elite Diary. Jeez, guys, that got a little bit intense there. We got pushed all the way to the doorway, but there it is. We got Space is Tight, which is a master task for killing the Musper while he's completely surrounded by spikes. That was kind of just luck that it worked out that way. Didn't really attempt to do it, but we'll take those. There's 400 death runes and some supplies as a reward. That's now 70 kills and a combat task. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Musper Zone. Here's another kill coming in, an Uncut Sapphire, probably a rare drop table roll, and 500 dust and some Addy ore. We're now at 63k though, at 85k C, so we're getting there through the grind. We're over a third of the way to our goal of 150k, and then we can move on and do that awful construction grind. Woo! There we go guys, 88 Muspers defeated. We get 3 Spirit Seeds, which is just an insane drop if you think about it. And what we can of course do is go turn those in for 3 high tier seed packs from the farming guild as well. So I guess I'll go do that, see if we can get any tree seeds or anything out of those. Our farming has severely slowed down since we've stopped doing Zulrah, of course. We got almost 10 levels from the drops from that boss, and the seeds here aren't quite as good. But you know, we'll go turn these 3 and see if we get anything interesting over there. Guys, check out this beautiful inventory I've somehow managed to put together. I've been round already, planted like some snapdragons in the ground, some palms, some magic seeds, dudes. Had to do a juggle, wait a couple of farming cycles, and here we are. Getting close to 93 farming as well, which is cool, because one day we want the cape. When we do grind for 99 herb lore in future, we do a lot of herb runs, then having the farming cape will also be really good. Also guys, speaking of farming XP, is there any better sight in this game than having 3 mahogany trees ready to be checked? If we just walk here, click this, oh, 15k, walk here, click this, 15k, walk here, click this, 15k. You just come here, get over 45k XP in 3 clicks. It's beautiful. Easy kill, boys. There it is, Musper number 90 on the account. We once again get the 3 rune kite shields, a nice 100k cash when we go sell those to the Elk shop, but sadly only 500 essence. Now it's 67k on 90k C. Hey everybody, here we are doing a fruit tree run, and with the health of this fruit tree checked, we'll get ourselves 93 farming on the account. Yeah. Nothing more to say. I've been over farming a bunch every time we've got a level for like the past 10 levels. As you know, not really much left till 99, but nice to get 93 here. Always good to get tree seed drops from bosses, just because so easy to level farming by just doing your fruit trees and slacking on your regular trees and herbs. Alright gang, back at the Musper, as you'd expect. There's our ancient icon coming in, a 1 in 50 unique. There's KC92, so almost double dry for one of those. Like I say, this thing isn't super exciting. You can combine this with the ancient staff that we get back from Fermi when we do want one, to give ourselves an ancient auto-casting weapon with an extra 5% damage bonus, which is nice. Although what we can do with this, of course, is break it down into essence. But yeah, that is worth 5,000 essence on its own. So if we go break that down, we'll be at basically 75k of the 150k for imbuing our heart. So that's really, really cool. Our first unique here at the Musper, 92kc. And then the 1 in 100 Venator shards, we're approaching the drop rate of those, so hopefully we see one of those soon. But there's our first unique. Right guys, just resupplying here at the Warriors Guild because we're out of noted food, and it's been a while since we've done an absolute champion check, but here we are. Inside this room, you're going to see an absolute champion, a true hero of the game of RuneScape. Here he is, my boy, Full Dragon, D-Chain, Evandis Flail. Oh, he just got a level up, no way. He's already got his Rune Defender. He's making gains. Right guys, welcome to a full Musper kill. I'm going to attempt to do an achievement called Can't Escape, where you kill Musper without running. You're probably supposed to do this, if I had to imagine, with freezes or by learning to step back. But I'm just going to have faith in the quality of the 3 potatoes I brought with me, and the RNG that we're going to get. Now, I think this might be quite painful, but it's going to be largely RNG. Like, we can probably just brute force this if we just get really lucky with hits. Of course, with the crossbow, we can hit up to 36. With our trident, with the imbued heart on the full buff at the start of the fight, we can hit up to 38. So you can actually get through this boss relatively quickly, but we've never done it quicker than a 349. I don't think it's going to be any quicker as well without being able to run. What's also going to be kind of scary is when the spikes come out the ground that follow you round. They're always annoying, these ones here, because they move at the same speed you do when walking. Then they're going to slowly catch up, and it might end up killing us. But there you go, as you can see, we pretty much 3-shot that brown phase there, just because the trident DPS is just nutty. But yeah, I just figured, like, I've killed almost 100 of these now, nothing really very interesting's happened, so let's try and do a combat achievement. We are getting through this kill though, as you can see. You just want to be cognizant of him swapping to this last blue phase, because you do need to be near some spikes, so you can hide behind them. Okay, there's not really much moving left. Every 4 attacks he summons spikes around you, so you just need to move every 4th one, which will be this next one here. It just gets a little bit spooky when that 4th one is also a mage attack, so you need to swap prayers over and back and also move, and then re-click to attack him. As you can see, we've got no food, so it's just RNG here, whether the chip damage does enough, and whether the ping wants us to move. That was close. Come on, hit. Literally 1 HP with no food. Literally 1 HP with no food. There we go. Anyway, there's the Can't Escape achievement. Just thought I'd do it for fun. 4 combat points. We've made a little bit of a buffer now with our combat tasks, so when they do add the Desert Treasure 2 ones, which by the way, it's November and they still haven't added to the game, which is kind of insane, then maybe we'll be able to keep our place as a hard combat achiever. But I'm not super worried if they do. There's loads of bosses we've not even been to that have easy kill count tasks, stuff like that. And here we go guys, kill number 100 of the Musper. That was an awful one, honestly. I got hit by 2 mage attacks because my ping's bad and it didn't swap prayer in time. But there we go, some smoke runes and pure essence and a frozen cache. Gonna guess there's gonna be nothing in this useless frozen cache. Let's have a look. 1 spirit seed, okay? I guess that's a seed pack, so we can't really complain, but these other 2 drops are completely worthless. So yeah, there's 100k C. Should have expected to have seen 1 Venator shard by now, which will of course give us 50k essence, but we'll just keep trucking on till we either get one or just complete the 150k without it. So that was 100 KC. I'll be honest, nothing really interesting happened for like another 10 or 11 kills, but here's kill 112, where we finally got our first Venator shard. Of course, the Venator bow requires 5 of these shards, and it's not very useful, and seeing as we already have a blowpipe on the account, and we're going for a Bofur in future, I can't imagine us holding on to 3 different range weapons, so I don't think we'll ever be making this, but it is worth 50,000 dust for one of these shards, so we will be breaking this down, as it will account for 1/3 of our saturated heart on its own. And just 6 kills after this Venator shard, we got a second Ancient Icon at 118 KC. They're of course 1 in 50, so a pretty much on drop rate for both these uniques, and breaking everything down means here at 118 KC we are done with our 150k dust to finally power up our imbued saturated heart. So real quick, let's go set up the combat dummy, even though we've looked this up before. I think our max hit currently in our mage gear, with all our best stuff on, with the imbued heart buff, is like a 38 or something, right? Yeah, there we go, a 38. So here we go, do we want to saturate our imbued heart? 150k essence, yes, and there it is. The saturated heart. So this bad boy now gives us a +13 boost instead of a +10 boost, and the boost doesn't decay every minute. So currently our max hit, like I say, is 38, but after 1 or 2 minutes in combat it goes down to 37 and then 36 after a while, etc, etc. Pretty comfortable grind at the Musper. Obviously doing 118 kills at any boss is not that hard really. It was easier than I thought. You know, you don't have to bring freezers or do any of that weird step back stuff. You can literally just kill the boss and run away. But let's see. Now we can pop this for a level 112 magic buff that will last the entire 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes the buff disappears completely, but the imbued heart also immediately comes off cooldown, so you can just click it again and get that same +13 buff. And if we attack our dummy now, instead of hitting 38 we actually hit 39, probably quite close to 40 as well. So with the saturated heart done, there was one more thing I wanted to do at the Musper before calling it complete for the account, and that's the combat achievement called Versatile Drainer, where you need to drain the Musper's prayer during the smite phase with 3 different sources during 1 kill. Now we've been using 2 different sources every single kill anyway, which are the Sapphire Bolts and the Smite Prayer, but if we just combine this with doing a single kill on the Arceus spellbook and casting one of the 2 corruption spells, then that would also drain its prayer, and that would add up to 3 sources, and we could just get a single KC exactly the same way we have been doing, and get ourselves a pretty much free 4 combat achievement points in the meantime. All the other remaining achievements at this boss are either speed runs or really difficult gimmick ones, so we're just going to ignore all those, but I figure Versatile Drainer is so easy to do, it would be silly to just not do it now. So Musper's now done. Here's the loot tracker for those interested. Here's our 1 Venator shard, 6,000 soul runes, 90k in flat essence. Of course we got 60k from breaking down the shard and the 2 icons, a couple of frozen caches, some spirit seeds, some nice farming XP, a lot of alkables, which were a lot of nice money, these dragon legs, dragon skirts, all the dragon bolts I did fletch for XP before selling those. We almost got 5,000 cannonballs, which would be amazing if we had a bank, but these awesome molten glass drops, so much XP in those, each one of those obviously being 70 experience if you make it into a light orb. And then as well as that we got some generic supplies, you know, some prayer pots, super restores, we got some summer pies, sharks, things like that, and a couple of rare drop tables, not as crazy as last time, just steel arrows and an uncut sapphire, and a few clues, one of which gave us the Fremi kilt. So I'm very happy with the loot. It took me personally over a week because I was being very lazy, but it wouldn't take you that long if you actually were trying, and it was nearly 20 mil in loot if you were a main. So honestly a decent boss, not that hard once you get the hang of it, but the main thing is we got our amazing saturated heart out of this, and we can now move on to bigger and better things. Right gang, underneath me is the main. It's time to get rid of some stuff. We've got 2 big goals now on the account, now we've finished the saturated heart. What we want to do is get 99 construction that I've mentioned quite a bit, we've already earned the money for it and stuff. Another thing we want to do is go to the gauntlet, or the corrupted gauntlet more specifically. We want to get ourselves the Bofur and the crystal armor set, which will be our new range gear going forward. We have unlocked that of course by completing Zulrah. So right now I don't have any use for my range gear. So what I'm actually going to do is drop over the carols. As you can see, if we sell this to a shop we get 30k, but if we drop it to the main it's worth 1.4 mil. I don't really need the cash, so we're going to drop trade this. Also going to drop the Fury over. Basically the idea right now is to make as many invent spaces as possible. I'm thinking of doing 99 fire making at Wintertot. There's a chance from Wintertot to get a dragon axe, and with that of course we can do our woodcutting and construction grind just that much easier. But if we don't pull the dragon axe, which is you know, it's very unlikely to see because it's a super, super rare item. Then we will instead go to Dagonoth Kings once we hit 99 fire making. Why do this now? Well, we've got a ton of invent space if we get rid of our range gear. Not only that, we need construction XP, which we'll get for fixing the braziers when they get damaged inside the minigame, so that'll be helpful as well. So it just makes a lot of sense, if our goal is still to eventually max, to just knock out another 99 now while we can. And we're also going to drop our ranging pots because I don't need those at all. Whether we go to DKs, we're not going to be ranging, we're going to just be maging Rex. So this is what the invent's looking like right now. We're going to keep our super restores because, like I say, we might be going to do some bossing at Rex, and we're going to keep our manta rays to use as food at Wintertot, and then we're going to keep our scales even though we don't have many, because we're going to use those to recharge our helm when we go safe spot some Rex and maybe get the Dragon Axe. Hopefully we do get it by going to 99 in our fire making at Wintertot, but you never know. Big plans now for the account. Now we've kind of finished the immediate goals we had for bossing. We've completed Zulra and Muspa, we've got our Juicy Heart, and we've got the cash for construction, so we're going to look for the Dragon Axe in one of two locations. We'll make a little bit of money as well for opening crates. Maybe we'll see the pet, maybe we'll get a few collection logs in the other Pyromancer pieces, things like that, and we'll get a little bit of token construction XP, and then it'll be 99 construction with Teak contracts. Right guys, here's the Wintertot gear. Luckily the fire cape counts as warm clothing. The other three pieces we've gone for are the bug lantern, which is really good because we didn't have anything really in the offhand, and Fremenic gloves, we just alked our Barrows gloves, and the bunny mask, just because it's just warm clothes that we can reclaim. If we do get the Bruma torch from here, then we'll replace our Trident of the Swamp with that, and we'll just instead equip our Serp helm. We'll have the same amount of invent spaces, but we can also get rid of the tinderbox, so it'd be nice to see one of those early. But yeah, we're just going to send it, see what kind of XP an hour we get. Hopefully it's over 200k or something reasonable, and we'll probably end up just teleporting to our house, going to the Warriors Guild through our Strength Cape, buying potatoes or something once these Manta Rays run out, and we'll just send this 99, see how quickly we can do it. And of course we'll be fletching with the knife, so we'll earn a little bit of fletching XP and more points from doing that. So yeah, let's just see how this goes. Wintertot time.
So Wintertot, of course, is a minigame where you train fire making by chopping logs inside this arena and either fletching them or not, and then chucking them into these burning braziers around the edge of the room, and that earns you points, and then these points directly go into loot rolls inside some crates at the end of the game, and you're also awarded a whole load of fire making XP. I think even on our account here with our semi-limited inventory and our not very efficient gear, we were getting over 250k an hour in fire making at some points. Of course, we were starting at over 3 mil XP already, and max is 13 mil, so we needed under 10 mil. So even at 250k an hour, which is a modest estimate, that's only like 40 hours. So yeah, I just sent a bunch of Wintertot for literally 5 solid days. Ended up doing probably about 35 hours or something to hit level 99. Here are just some highlights in the background. As you can see, we pulled ourselves the Pyro top first, of course. You actually get the Pyromancer outfit in order at this minigame, which is really cool. Anytime you roll a piece, you get given the piece you need. So you always get them in order, and we have been here before and got 2 of the pieces on our log. So the first 2 drops weren't collection log pop-ups, but the 3rd and 4th, the legs and the boots, were actually for the collection log, which is cool. We also got the aforementioned Bruma torch, which is a great item. It's an equipable tinderbox in this minigame and also acts as warm clothing. Of course, you need 4 pieces of warm clothing on in this minigame to take the minimal amount of damage. Something like 6 if all the braziers are lit and we're in full warm clothes, so it's not terrible. We can get through a couple of games by bringing just cheese potatoes from the Warriors Guild shop, which was how I was resupplying once the Manta Rays ran out. Very, very easy as long as someone else wasn't trying to do the same thing, because of course everyone shares the same shops in this game. So I just teleport home like I mentioned in the intro, go through our mounted strength cape, run over to the shop, grab an inventory of potatoes every couple of games, crack open the chests and see if there are any seeds I got that I needed to go plant, and if not, I'd just drop the rest of the loot on the ground, teleport back home, go through the jewellery box this time, and use the game's necklace telly straight to Wintertot, and I'd be able to get back into the next game before it started so I could light the initial brazier for those 25 points, and it was really smooth and efficient, honestly. Along the way, we hit 85 woodcutting, so we were part way through 84, I believe, when we started, which is really good. Free woodcutting XP. It's actually not bad here. It's something like 11k an hour or something, so, you know, it's not nothing. Same as the fletching experience, but I wasn't doing as much fletching as I could have done, because if you spend less time fletching, you get slightly more fire-making XP an hour. I just fletched to hit the initial 500 points per game, which would guarantee us a loot crate at the end. Then after that, I stopped fletching and just burnt raw logs for more fire-making experience. During our grind, before I hit 95 fire making, I actually pulled the Tome of Fire, which is one of the rares from Wintertot. It's a 1 in 1000. Now this is an equipable offhand book that provides unlimited fire runes, which for combat spells is usually quite useful. You do have to go through burning pages to get charges for it, but I wouldn't be using it for that. It is actually going to be super useful though, and when we come to do Mahogany Homes next episode, where we're doing our construction contracts and we get sent to Varrock specifically, it means we'll be able to teleport straight to Varrock with our spellbook instead of going through our house and through the Nexus, because I haven't actually budgeted an invent space for fire runes at this stage, so having an offhand item that provides us fire runes might actually save us a few seconds every single time we get given a Varrock contract. So having a Tome of Fire here as a pull is massive. It's also a collection log slot, so that's cool as well. The other two uniques, of course, the Dragon Axe is 10 times rarer at a 1 in 10k, and the Phoenix Pet is 5 times rarer at 1 in 5k, so we might not see either of those, but there you go. Saw a whole bunch of duplicates in terms of the unique outfit pieces from this minigame. Of course, once you receive the full Pyromancer outfit, you start receiving the outfit again from the top onwards. So we got a lot of tops on our collection log, because every time I got one, I trade it in for an extra supply crate, which you can do outside. So by the end of our grind, our log was looking a little bit top heavy, but that's fine. We ended up opening quite a few extra loot crates from the extra tops, the extra Bruma torches, the extra gloves we got given. If we did have a bank, there'd be a lot of extra loot we could pop in the bank and use for crafting later. Stuff like gems, logs, seeds, herbs, but a lot of it I did just drop on the floor to power through, try and hit as many woodcutting axe rolls as possible and just get this level 99 out of the way. I actually had quite a lot of fun with it. It's certainly a lot better than when we initially came here to get levels for questing, back when, you know, we didn't have the ornate pool in our house to heal us in between games, when we didn't have a teleport straight back to the Wintertot in that jewellery box in the POH. So we've come a long way since we initially did Wintertot, and I was saying how much I hate it. I actually don't mind it now, but I guess the difference is literally being an almost maxed player versus being a noob. But there we go, very, very easy grind, probably the easiest grind we'll ever have again on this game. There's certainly no other skills that are just going to take us 5 chill days to get 99 in, but now I feel like a real Iron Man and we can go claim our fire-making cape. Okay guys, welcome back to the 99 firemaking zone. As you can see on screen here at the end of this match, we're going to get 99 firemaking coming up. Here are the stats. We'll be 21-27 total, so 150 levels left to max, and we'll go get ourselves a nice firemaking cape after this. I guess I can also turn off the red screen plugin now actually, since we're pretty much done with this minigame, but there it is, 99 firemaking on the account coming in. We're actually looking super cool in our full Pyromancer, as well as our fire cape and the gloves and the tome. It actually looks sweet with our Bruma torch as well. There it is, yeah, that was 5 days of firemaking to get 10 mil. We averaged about 2 mil a day, got over 250k an hour. As you can see, it's gone up to pretty much 270k an hour here at level 98. 560k C. We started on 151 at level 85, so we've done 409 crates. Each of those crates would have had probably 2 to 4 rolls in each. So if we take a quick look over at the collection log here under bosses for Wintertot, and then with the full set, of course, we've just been getting garbs and turning those in for more free crates on this NPC outside. Same with all our Bruma torches and warm gloves we've been getting for the past 5 days as well. So there we go. Do we get a Dragon Axe from the last crate? No, we get 2 Adior. 574 crates in total. That includes the extras, of course, from trading in, I guess, 14 extra items. But we got a lot of burnt pages. Not all of those went into the book, of course. I've been dropping them up until I earned the book, and then after earning the book, we've added charges to it. So that means we currently have 3,900 charges. Like I say, we're probably never going to use those, but it is nice just to give us the fire runes for Varrock tellies for our construction. And then, as you can see, tons of seeds, herbs. Didn't really use almost all of these supplies. I pretty much dropped all of it except the yew seeds I have been planting. But yeah, a lot of this stuff has just got on the ground. So much wasted supplies, but 10 mil in getting 99 firemaking in terms of profit. Of course, we didn't see the Phoenix or the woodcutting axe, so it does look like we are going to be going to Dagonoth Kings. But for now, that's it with Wintertot, so I guess we can freely get rid of all of these pieces and turn these in for crates as well. Right, let's see what we get. Some more stuff, one more yew seed to plant, some rune ore, and some diamonds. So yeah, the loot's not amazing here. You get stuff like saltpeter and lobsters and tuna and addy ore, but some of the stuff's nice. Snapdragon seeds specifically you do get quite a lot of. So we were also 3.09 mil in our woodcutting, so we've got ourselves 430k, something like that, which is good because of course we're going to be chopping all our own planks for the construction, so having every single woodcutting level possible should make our chopping of the teaks a little bit quicker and add to our XP an hour. We've got a
around about 500k fletching XP doing this as well for free, which is just amazing. And then we were actually 84 construction, we were 3.15, we're now 3.28, so we've got 130k construction XP while doing this for free as well. So that's even more time, that's almost 2 hours we've taken off the grind when we do actually go to do our mahogany homes. And here we are, guys, in Sears with our boy Ignatius Vulcan to buy ourselves a fire-making skill cape. Really nice one, the most iconic Iron Man cape probably, and by far the easiest level 99 to get on any account, even this limited UIM. Nice bunch of free total levels. It doesn't actually really do anything, the fire-making cape. It's a light source, which is fine, but as soon as you've done Candor in Easy Diary, you get a reclaimable light source that's only 200 GP from Purdue instead of 100k, and it does also act as warm clothing, but again, so does our fire cape, so don't think we'll ever reclaim this fire-making cape or use it. We'll just check out the emote as well while we are here, because that's just something traditional to do, isn't it? Wow, we made a flame, look at that. It does look kind of cool, I guess. Anyway, yeah, on to, I guess, Dagonoth Kings next.
So that's fire making complete. Like I say, we didn't see the Dragon Axe at the extortionate 1 in 10,000 drop rate it has from the Wintertot, so we would have to go to the Dagonoth Kings, the only other place in the game you can get the Dragon Axe, because it's a modest 1 in 128 drop from either of the 3 kings. And what I did was decided to go and do the safe spot Rex method, the safest, comfiest method, where you slowly just kill a single of the kings with mage from a safe spot where he can't melee you. The issues with DKs are it's really hard to get here, it's quite a long run, it's very dangerous. There's multi-combat zones, you need to refill your run 2 or 3 times just to get to the boss. We did get quite lucky though on this first trip here. I did manage to find a world where there were 3 cute noobs in Nezzy helms all doing the DKs together. Didn't manage to get a clip of it, but it was adorable. I managed to nip into their room, sneak around the back, and then hop worlds in the Rex safe spot to be able to find my own Rex world, rather than attempting to tank test the other 2 DKs up and down the ladder, so that was really convenient. We're also very fortunate at this point in the game to own the Serpentine helm, which of course while you wear it makes you immune to venom and poison, which is one of the big things that shortens your trips at the Dag Kings, because these little monsters around the edge continually attack you throughout the time you're here, and they do inflict poison that does drain your supplies, because even if you bring a lot of super anti-poisons, eventually you'll run out of time with those and you will tick down to poison. So having the Serp helm on was amazing. Not only that, it gives you a lot of tank stats, of course, so they're less likely to hit you with standard attacks, but just being immune to poison the entire time we were here meant we could have super long trips. Our first trip we started at 27 KC, because of course we've done a few Dag Kings before for combat achievements, and we actually managed a 2.5 hour trip where we got 64 Rex kills before we ran out of the prayer that we brought. There's a couple of neat drops from the Dag Kings. There's a 1 in 5k pet, and there's a bunch of 1 in 128s, including the Warrior Ring and the Berserker Ring. You may remember we spooned an Archer's Ring from the Range one a couple of episodes back when we were here for combat achievements, but for this guy our luck was a little bit worse. We saw a rare drop table Rune Bar, which is 1 in 400. We saw the Rune Axe, which is the same drop rate as the Dragon Axe, 1 in 128. We saw the Warrior Ring, which is the most useless ring from all of these. And then also there's a bunch of nice Troll Potion drops on the Rex. He has all sorts of weird 2-dose potions he drops at a 1 in 128, including an anti-fire potion and a super attack. Loads of useless stuff you don't want to see that's the same drop rate as the axe and the rings. Alright guys, you know what it is. It's Tears of Guthix Cave. With this one we should be very close to 83 Herblore. I think we'll be like 5k away or something, depending what we get. Yeah, 3.6k mortal, 83. Then we need 2 more levels. We can go complete Varrock Elite Diary, which will be super good. Right guys, we've resupplied, we're back to Rex, it's a new day. I did forget, however, to put Ancient Magics on, even though I bought loads of barrage runes, like 250 barrages, so I could have been here a long time if I'd done this properly, but I'm on the standard spellbook, so it's going to be a very limited trip. As you can see there, we have brought the Falador Shield today and more super restores than last time, as well as more casts of healing spell. So had I been on the right spellbook, this could have easily been a 100 kill trip, but here we are, back at the Rex, back in the safe spot with the Saturated Heart. Everything's full up except the helm. We're getting low on scales, but I don't want to put more scales in the helm right now, because, you know, I'm saving them to charge our trident. I don't want to have to go back to Zulrah, but hopefully we get spooned today. As you can see, we're starting off on 92. That's our second Ring of Life, which is of course 1 in 128. Everything we've had so far has been 1 in 128 pretty much. So yeah, because I'm stupid, I forgot to bring Ancients this trip. Only managed 11 kills. I didn't want to risk it just because I ran out of food. You know, better to be safe than sorry on an account where if you die twice in a row, you lose all your items permanently. So we got a couple of drops in this 11 kill trip. We got a Ring of Life, of course, same drop rate as everything else. We got a Fremi helm, we got the Zami brew, we also hit the rare drop table and got a rune battle axe, so that's never ideal, but we did come back starting off with 104 KC on a third trip, this time bringing ancients, and we got a whole bunch of stuff. We got back-to-back super attack potions, which is always fun, iron ore, which is also a 1 in 128, we got another hard clue, quite a few hard clues from this boss, they're like 1 in 40 or something, so decent place to come and get those. We got more anti-fire potions as well. We hit the 128 KC, didn't end up with the axe or the berserker ring at this point, so we're slightly dry from here on forward, and then we just got a whole bunch of other potions. We got anti-fires again, actually managed to combine 2 different 2-dose anti-fires into a single potion just to show we've had this drop twice, and we also got some super defenses again, some super attacks again, another rock shell plate, a second one, same drop rate as everything else, a Fremy shield, all sorts of fun stuff. Hey guys, there we go, got it, the 1 in 152 apparently Dragon Axe, there it is. That's our axe we're going to use for our wood cutting and our 99 construction grind coming up. Hopefully it should shave off some of the like 150 efficient hours we're going to have to do to get 99 construction. That's super good to see. Cheers boys for the gratzes. Might stay. I mean, we're just missing now the berserker ring on the collection log, and we're pretty dry for that as well. It's of course also a 1 in 128, and we've done 152 kills. So while we have this many supplies and the gear, and we're already here with the safe spot set up, I might just ride out our supplies until the trip's over and see if we pull the B ring purely for the collection log. Like I say, we've no use for the B ring. We're definitely keeping the Ring of Suffering, but for collection log slots, it is worth seeking. I think we'll chill and just do a few more kills. But there's our Dragon Axe, the whole thing we came for, 152 KC, super happy with that one. I did, like I say, stay until our supplies ran out. I only managed something like another 17 kills, something like that. And in those, the only drops of note were some steel bars, of course, 1 in 128. We got ourselves a second warrior ring, which is a bit of a shame. If that was just the berserker ring, which is the same drop rate, we'd be done here in terms of the log, aside from the pet, of course. And we also hit a 1 in 1024 rune square from the rare drop table, just as an insult to injury before we left. So that's really cool. Really quickly as well, guys, here's the DK's log, in case you somehow didn't see. 169 kills at Rex. We had the Archer's Ring, of course, 2 Warrior's Rings, Dragon Axe, Rare Drop Table, Rune Battle Axe, and Rune Square, and Rune Bar. 3 Rings of Life, the same drop rate as all the other uniques, including the B Ring. 2 Super Defenses, 2 Anti-Fires, a Super Strength, 4 Super Attacks, 2 Zami Brews, and a Restore Pot. All of those are 1 in 128 as well. And of course we had 2 of the Rock Shell Plates and the Rock Shell Legs, all those 1 in 128. So a little bit of a shame that we didn't see the Berserker Ring. It would just be nice for a log slot, but like I say, we don't need it at all. So that's DK's complete. 3 really good grinds this episode, and now we're set up gear-wise thanks to this Dragon Axe to go do ourselves a little bit of construction. Look at us. Hopefully we'll have the cape in the next couple of months. It's going to be a long grind, and I'm also going to take a little bit of a break from the series to enjoy some of the League that's coming out next week, because it does look super good. And then, like I say, the construction will be a massive grind. We're looking at maybe 150 hours or so to get these remaining 14 levels, but it'll be, outside of getting that Lumbridge Elite Diary, probably the biggest unlock we ever get on this account. It just really will make that much difference to our ability to get around and the ability to free up inventory spaces, so it's going to be massive. But for now, we are done and out of here, so I'm going to clear the invent up, and then we'll take a look at what it's probably going to look like for the construction, and then when we do come back post-leagues, we'll be setting into that massive grind for weeks of efficient gameplay to get this 99 cape. Right guys, here we are, the main is underneath me once again. It's time to ditch some stuff. Gonna get rid of the warrior ring, all this rubbish. It's time to get rid of our super restore stack as well, which is worth over 4 mil on the GE, so we'll be dropping that. One thing that is good that we got from Rex though are these noted steel bars, as we can start off using those. Of course, for Mahogany Homes contracts, you frequently need 1 or 2 steel bars, and then once we get set into doing the contracts and earn some points, we can start cashing those out on the crates from the reward shop, and they frequently include noted steel bars, so it'll be self-sufficient, but it's nice to have a start with a couple of noted ones. So there's all the stuff dropped over. I want to do a real quick experiment though as well with this teleport crystal. It may be that I get rid of this as well to free up 1 extra space for construction, because I don't know if we quite have enough now. We will be dropping the scales as well actually, but there's really no point dropping them. I guess we could use them to fully recharge our trident, and then the other like 1k that are left we'll just chuck in the Serp Helm. So you can assume these won't also be here. So if we ignore the scales down here, then this is how the invent will look. We'll have this, we'll have a hammer, we'll have a saw, and we'll have a single unnoted
unlimited steel bar. Then we'll have 16 spaces for logs, which will turn into planks. And then I think that's the maximum amount of planks you can need for any one contract. So we should be good with this much inventory space. It should be a good time. Seems they've also added a freaky forester here, which is interesting. It's just a bit of a shame that we've never been able to really engage with the forestry content, because the forestry kit here is a container that we're not allowed to use. Maybe once we're done with construction, we should be something like 91 or 92 woodcutting. Maybe we'll still end up doing some forestry anyway. We may be looking to finish 99 woodcutting straight after, just because we'll have the dragon axe on us already. And of course, because we're not allowed stash units on this account, we can't put this dragon axe in the enchanted valley and store it there for when we next want it. So we may be looking into the woodcutting straight after the construction. But this is where most of the constructing will be taking place. So we'll be sinking our teeth into construction next episode. And speaking of next episode, guys, I'm going to call this episode here complete. So once again, really appreciate you guys tuning in. I actually had a lot of fun with this one. The grinds were actually really enjoyable this week. Of course, just a recap on the screen there, in case you somehow missed or forgot something that we got done this episode. We started with the Musper, of course. We did that 150k dust essence stuff to imbue our saturated heart thingy. Now we have that. We have even more mage max hits. We have a magic damage buff that lasts for a solid 5 minutes and is unlimitedly reusable. Got a couple of collection log slots there in the cache, the icon and the shard, and we earned, of course, 6 combat achievements, and also got an elite clue there that gave us the Fremy kilt, which was another log slot, which is always cool. With the Musper complete, we freed some invent space up to go to Wintertot, spent 5 days getting 10 mil XP, got ourselves the level 99, some free total levels, and the cape. Also was lucky enough to pull the Tome of Fire. I say lucky, we actually went over the drop rate a little bit, but that's fine. That's going to be really useful for our upcoming construction grind, because like I say, we can equip this in the offhand where we otherwise just had a god book or something useless, and it gives us unlimited fire runes, allowing us to teleport to Varrock when we get given a Varrock contract, so that's actually really functionally useful. With the Dragon Axe we got from the DKs, we actually have completed the log at the Wintertot, minus the Phoenix pet, so that's something we could go back and do in future if we need to. And then, like I say, of course, we did go over to Rex, pull that Dragon Axe, 150 something kills, so now we're geared up really well to go do our construction grind when we do come back to the next episode, where it's going to be an intensely painful 150 plus hour grind to get this cape. But like I say, it's going to be one of the biggest unlocks we have ever got and will ever get on this account. So yeah, really had a lot of fun making this one. Hope it was a lot of fun to watch as well. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, guys. Drop a like if you would, does help me out. Drop a sub if you want to see the next one. Of course, all episodes that currently exist, all 37 of them up to this point over the last year or so, are available in a juicy little playlist over on the channel if you want to catch up or go back and watch the old ones. And of course, drop a comment if you do have anything to say and I'll get back to you. Going to be leagues for me next week, which I'm really excited about. The relics are looking really juicy. Might not make any videos on it though, but I will be back for the next episode of Bag Only, where we subject ourselves to months potentially of sweaty construction to get this silly cape done. So join me for that. It should at least be fun to watch if it's not fun for me to do. See you there. Take care of yourselves over the winter period, guys, and whenever I see you next, I'll see you then.